is supposed to just sum up to 1, and the channeling of 1 in the upper dimensions. What did I say? I said we can't enter the upper dimensions as a group. I mean, say as a group of multiple numbers, multiple variables, as they say, variables, things that vary. No, we have to enter as one force, one mental force, one mental power. You see, 1 is very important in the ascension toward the 4th dimension. 1 is very important in the ascension toward the 8th dimension. Why? 1 is the most important in the ascension toward the 12th dimension, and so on and so forth, because it's all 1 after 4. It's all 1 after 4. When it hits 4, that's finally the 1. What did I say? I said we are in ground zero still at this point. We are in ground zero. We are in the space of nothing. Why are we in the space of nothing? Because creations and creatures came from nothing, were created from nothing, meaning they did not or were not projected from the 4th dimension where 1 is the foundation. We had to go beneath the 1. We had to go to 0 in order to create things within the 0 to sum up to something within ground 0. Right? Organisms, life forms, all sorts of creatures that were combined together from nothing to produce something within the 0 dimension, nothing. So 1 equals a space and continuous time frame that is continuously opening up into something else. When you ride on a road and you're moving on a road, you're constantly moving in a continuous road that does not stop. What do you call that road that you move on that continuously goes and there's no stopping it? It's one linear road that does not split off, does not have any detours, that does not have any disconnect. There's no second road. There's no third road. There's only one road. That is how the dimensions work when you get to 4. Everything is 1 after that. You see? Remember what I said, James Brown said this, and it's funny. He said everything in soul is based on the 1. He went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, hit it, and then 1. So after every 4 counts, he said 1. After 4 counts, he said 1. But it wasn't even necessary to do 4 counts. It wasn't even necessary to say 2, 3, and 4. You could have said 1, 1, 1, 1, because that's how it registers, really. That's how all mathematical transmission registers is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Anything after that is an illusion. And if you leave something for illusion, if you leave something like a math system for illusion, then you allow people to get in and make up numbers and start lying about things and causing confusion. So in order to get rid of all the confusion, you have to get rid of the numerical system. Times, dates, things like that, because tomorrow has come and we forget all about 2022 and we say tomorrow, somebody said we're going to start time from 1 again, and we erase all the time frames that came and gone. What would happen? What would happen? Nothing would happen. You would start from that time and people would be like, okay, this is year 1. This is year 2. This is year, or whatever. However, when we say year 1, if you might have heard me say at one point, I used to say year 1, right, is only 1. Year 1 is going to be forever. Year 1 is going to be forever. There will be no year 2, no year 3. Year 1 is supposed to be forever once you reach the 4th dimension. In other words, it's always 1. Everything is 1. Right? Everything is 1. Number system or the numerical system was only necessary for the 3rd dimension. And being that the 3rd dimension is the dimension of 0, a state of incompletion, where it did not sum up all the way as 1, this is why you have all these different numbers that had to be created. This number system had to be created as a form of marking humans, animals, trees, all these the life forms here, insects. They all had to have a numbering system. Right? They all had to have a numbering system in order to register within the 3-dimensional state, or that within that 0-dimensional state. They had to have something to register. If they were projected in the 4th dimension, there would be no need for numbers after that. There'd be no need for numbers. Even me describing, like I said, 1, 2, and 3 in the 4th dimension, like I said, that's really not accurate. 4th dimension, like I said it would be likened unto 1. And it is 1. I said that the 8th dimension would be likened unto 2. And the 12th dimension would be likened unto 3. And the 13th dimension would be likened unto 4. But in all actuality, all still 1. It's all 1. It's all 1 interrupted 1. Right? And it's supposed to flow seamlessly into one another. In other words, you're not going to see where there's a time difference or a time lapse. Remember I said when you get into the 4th dimension, there's going to be no more different time frames and things like that, because even with the time frames, that's artificial. The time frames in which they give, like, well, say this, it's this time over here, but then over here it's another time. These all false time zones that are created by mankind. So if mankind is artificial and thus a creation, anything that comes through him is also false and also is not real. You see? And ultra-standingness gets you at the core of power, because power only comes when you know which is real, or that which is real. The foundation of power is 1. Right? Why is the foundation of power 1? Because power from one source is always supposed to flow into another source and another source and another source, and that is power, which is supposed to be a continuous source. Now, if you say power goes in stages of 1 and 2 and 3, then that means that power is not continuous, because at any given time, the power can break at 2, at 3, at 4, or whatever the case may be. But if power is a continuous, and there is no count down or count up to power, then that means that it is a continuous flow of energy. So when you have a continuous flow of energy, what do all you're going to know it as is one flow of power. That's all you're going to know it as. You're not going to know it as 2 flows, or the next flow of this, or this degree of this, or this degree of that. All of that's stopping. All of that's going to stop. The highest degree to the lowest degree, that's going to stop. Highs and lows only resonate within the 3rd dimension. In the 4th dimension, there's only high and the higher and the continuing high as 1. A continual linear power of 1. When the number 1 does not repeat itself, it just extends to a greater height, but it remains as 1. And as it remains as 1 and continues on a higher level toward 1, that is the regeneration of mathematics.